Hey guys, welcome you all to our collective calls that we hold on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's Tuesday and we're holding this one. So hosting today's meeting, as always, Ivan and Malika. And we got three projects for you to share the pitch deck, answer the questions, so you know the drill. So let me go through them quickly. So we got Simo, CEO at Liquido project. Hopefully I rolled it all correctly. Maddie, also co-founder at the Korra Finance, and lastly, but not leastly, Christopher, a CEO at Straightfire. Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to see you all.
Okay, so welcome to Straightfire, guys, where we are unlocking a 3 trillion market opportunity by tokenizing Hollywood-level entertainment IP real-world assets. That's a mouthful, right? We're building the first dedicated platform where investors, fans, and IP owners can own, trade, and monetize entertainment IPs, and such as like movies, comic books, video games, and much more. So unlike traditional entertainment investment models, Tradefire enables real ownership for private investors, creating, I guess, a new paradigm, right, where IPs become liquid and tradable assets. So with our planned TGE at the end of March, we now have on offer the last tickets for the private round. So let me kind of like take you through some of the details of what that means. Let me start by the team. So you might recognize some of the titles. Our team of industry veterans have been working on some of the largest titles, such as Transformers, Ready Player One, Star Wars, but also comic books and toys from Spider-Man to Guardians of the Galaxy, and TV shows like Survivor and games like Dragon's Nest. But I guess that, you've seen teams that have some high powerful people in it. So what does it really mean, right? So basically it means access. So we have access to over 500 IPs in 100 countries, 300 million audience, and on top of that we have the ways in to help the IPs to monetize across streaming platforms, gaming and comic and toy distributors, and we're working with the large production houses. What does it really mean in terms of product? So we are developing together with Story Protocol, where we've integrated with the world's IP blockchain. We have integrated to build an IP platform that is a full stack entertainment IP tokenization platform that has three components. It has a LaunchPad, a marketplace, and we are setting up tokenized IP funds. So the launchpad is called StraightPad, and it's the first entertainment IP launchpad providing decentralized funding opportunities to IP owners and for investors and exclusive early access to high potential IPs. And how do we do this? By actually enabling or setting up an ecosystem where we are driving and enabling liquidity, trading, and long-term monetization for our investors. And for every successful raise on our platform, we use a percentage to buy back our native token and burn it to drive long-term value for the token holders. So when we look at the marketplace, that's a seamless trading hub for tokenized IPs, enabling secondary trading. And also there's a DeFi powered component to it that facilitates royalty sharing, staking, and other DeFi solutions, such as borrowing and using the RWA as a collateral. Then we're also setting up a tokenized IP fund, which basically means that you are, as a token investor, are able to invest in a diversified investment portfolio or investment vehicle that pulls all these tokenized IPs together, reducing some of the risk and enhancing accessibility. Where we are at the moment and what is the status and where we are going next is, so far we've raised 2 million. We have 4 high-profile launchpads lined up for our public round. We're moving towards TG at the end of March. We've built a community of around 200k people. We have built a mobile game. We have 25 IPs in the pipeline for launch on StraightPad. And we are about to start an airdrop campaign and a KOL campaign leading to TGE. We're at the moment announcing a handful of partnerships every week. We have finished our questing platform that will go live 3 weeks before TGE. And StraightPad will be officially launched at TGE, followed by the marketplace in 2Q, and shortly followed after by the tokenized IP fund. So I've been talking a lot about IPs, right? So what do I really mean? So these are just an example, 4 of the 25. So we have Angry Foot, which is the first Native American superhero, based and worked on together with Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas. We have the license deal to build All Dirty Bastards digital universe. We have Virus that we developed together with Bilibili, China's largest animation games and comics platform, that was launched in cinemas at the beginning of last year. That has amassed about 35 million streams. And then we have the 12, which is a science fiction story where the science part is provided by Nobel laureate in physics Gerard het Hoofd, and the fiction part is developed by one of the largest games developers called Horizon. When we look at the investors, right, these are the ones that have kind of like preceded you. Just a couple of names: Shima, Base VC, Apes Capital, Synergy Capital, and some community VCs like Chateau Crypto and Duck DAO. And we have a high caliber advisory board and some kick-ass partners. But before I kind of like end the presentation, let me kind of like show you a few of the tokenomics here. All will be provided in the more elaborate pitch deck. As I mentioned, so far we've raised around 1.9 million of the 3.8 million. 1.2 million has been allocated. That's the KOL round and the public round. So we have 700K left in private. Special attention to the two buckets there: growth fund and ecosystem rewards. The ecosystem rewards are there to be used to further grow the community and to ramp up the ecosystem, and the growth fund is being used to directly invest in IPs. So to kind of like round it up, our private round has a 17 million valuation. The FDV for the public round is 22 million. The vesting schedule for private is such that 10% at TGE, then a 2-month cliff, and 10-month linear vesting. And that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris, for the pitch. Let's go to the Q&A section. Yeah, guys, if you have questions to Chris, please go ahead. You can raise your hand or text your question here in the chat. Yeah, while we are waiting, Chris, why do you tokenize IPs?
Yeah, I think that's probably the golden question, right? And I think the reality is that when you look at the IP market, it's like a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, and actually it dwarfs crypto when it comes to that. But it's a highly illiquid system, where if you invest in an entertainment IP, your money is stuck until the end product is finished. It's in the markets, it's in the cinemas, for example, or on a streaming platform. So basically what you do is you make the investment highly liquid. And what you also do is you bring it to the people, to private investors that so far have had no way in to own the IPs that they watch, that they love, that they buy into. And I think that's the second part. I think the third part is that it helps to facilitate a lot of the monetization. So I guess when you look at the Web3 part, this is where Story comes in. So by tokenizing the real world asset on the blockchain, you actually enable other companies within the Web3 ecosystem to use, I guess, through your smart contract to use the license of the IP and to further monetize it across Web3. And while at the same time, our background is pretty much monetization in Web2. So we will basically support a lot of the projects that are launching with us, should they require some of that help. And I think the final part, what you can do with these assets is, I think the magic of what we're doing here is IP times RWA times DeFi. And I think the DeFi component will actually help scale this up. So by not only offering a long-term return on investment in terms of like royalty payment or revenue sharing, what you're also doing here is you're giving the opportunity to use it as a collateral, the assets. You can stake it for normal yield. And actually, the revenue sharing component is a simple ERC20 token that you can kind of like use for any type of liquidity pools or stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. We've got a question here in the chat. How do you plan to manage the intersection of traditional entertainment IPs with the decentralized nature of Web3, especially in terms of community involvement and ownership of tokenized assets?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I guess that's where a lot of the, particularly Web2 IPs, right? So because we're also working with Web3 IPs, we'll kind of like understand the full Web3 community part and how to market your products. The Web2 IPs definitely do not understand that. In fact, a lot of Web2 IPs are very, very scared of crypto. But the moment you actually offer them the opportunity to raise funds from a different type of community that they have no access to so far, they suddenly are all ears. However, The reason why we can actually work with them is because we've been working with them for the past 30 years. So we have the reputation and network to actually be having a seat at the table. But then again, what they ask us to do is to handle the whole Web3 part. So we handle the tokenization on their behalf. When we raise the funds, we have a milestone-based release schedule. So we're not handing over the money in one go. We have to protect in some shape or form the investors, of which we will always be one of those as well. Because part of the payment on our platform when we raise funds is being paid in tokens of the respective IPs. So when you look at that part, a lot of the Web3 community activity and engagement is actually handled by us and our partners. And because a lot of the Web2 IPs are not able to handle that. So then the second part of the question was around how you manage the, I guess the token part. How it basically works is we always say you tokenize the IP, but what you really are doing is you're not necessarily tokenizing the actual IP name. What you do is, for example, if you want to develop a movie, you tokenize the project that contains the movie plus the whole monetization cycle that's linked to that movie, which could be merchandising, which could be toys, which could be comic books, which could be a game. So you basically, that whole part of it, that's what you tokenize, and then you offer part of that of those tokens to the market. So you will never offer the full amount of tokens simply because you would need part of that monetization and revenue sharing and royalty payment to actually activate a lot of the Web2 partners that you will also need in order to be successful. So sometimes if you're a US-based producer of a movie, you need a distributor for the Asian market, and therefore you make a barter deal where you do some profit sharing or revenue sharing with them. But that's kind of like how it goes. So basically what we see, we get a lot of traction from those IPs that, for example, well, I will give you an example. So we're working with ITV Studios. It has a very successful big title called Love Island, which is a reality TV show. Their data has shown that about 2 million Indians are watching the UK version. So now they want to develop an Indian version, but they are 500K short. So they come to us and say, okay, can we raise the 500K from your community? And then what's in exchange of it? So if it would be Love Island in the Netherlands, I would say probably don't give it to an investor because there's nothing in it. But when you look at the Indian market, and the monetization upside is quite tremendous. So that's where we, together with the IP owner, are developing the offer to our investors or the investing community, and we basically raise the funds in exchange for a share in the full monetization circle there. I hope that kind of like answers the question.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Thanks, guys. If you want to get Chris' contacts, you can find it here in the chat, Chris' Telegram and email. And yeah, do we have more questions? Okay, thank you.
There's time for the last one. Yeah, I see. Thank you. I also have a question. So Chris, what is your go-to-market strategy and what we can expect leading up to TGE?
Yeah, so I guess we have 3 different streams, right? One is how do we onboard IP owners and new IPs, right? So we do this in a few different ways. So we do this through our own network. We have a very strong Hollywood base, but also in the Asian market and Chinese market. Second is we have been selected by Story as their go-to onboarding platform for onboarding Web2 IPs into Web3 and helping them raise funding. So through their channels, we get quite some traction as well. And then the third one is a bit of a surprise that was never intended, but what we now see is we get traction from Web2 projects, mostly NFT projects with big communities and Web3 gaming projects that have never gotten to the point of developing a native token. Now when they want to do fundraising, actually there's an opportunity to not go down the token route and have to deal with LaunchPad and central exchanges or DEXs, but you can actually take your community, look at your project as an IP and raise through our platform funding from your community by tokenizing the future monetization of that IP. So that's something that we're doing on the IP side. Then obviously we have to onboard the platform users, the investors. So we do a lot through partnerships in the RWA space. So one of our investors and platforms that we're launching with RWA Inc., we're taking their KYC investor community and onboarding it. And basically what you see with a lot of other IDO platforms that have an RWA user base, we are onboarding those through our partnerships. At the same time, we do a lot of gamified activities. We have airdrops. we have KOL campaigns, and we get a lot of like IP engagement as well. So I think part of what we are doing is we're onboarding Web2 fans of the IPs that we're bringing onto the LaunchPad. And I think that that's actually, well, it's like the holy grail type of thing for Web3, and it's extremely difficult. Yeah, we do a little bit like what Pudgy Penguins is doing, where we are creating custodian wallets for them, and they can actually get digital equivalents of the physical products that they buy, like toys and comic books and stuff like that. And in that way, we're trying to kind of like build up that part. So the final part is the token holders, right? And I guess we're trying to communicate as best as possible what the utility of the token is. So basically, it works like a normal IDO platform, where based on the amount of tokens staked, you qualify for a specific tier that is associated with the maximum investment that you can do in the IPs. But at the same time, we create through the funds that we raise, we do a buyback and burn. We are creating a very interactive staking system, not only for our native token, but also for the RWA tokens that we are creating from the IPs. Yeah, we have mobile games to kind of like gamify the experience and use for the tokens as well. So yeah, I think we do a myriad of things, but basically the focus on the IP owners, on the native token holders, and on the investors on our platform.
Okay, Chris, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Bit about us, guys. I'm Seymour from Liquido. We're building actual first cross-chain aggregation with DIA function. So basically, in a nutshell, you guys know much about it. We started focusing on the Bitcoin ecosystem. So a bit about us: back in 2023, we started, put together the team, and from there, we kind of noticed there was a bit of an issue in the Bitcoin ecosystem, where there's a lot of these layer 2s coming around. There was no actually like conjunction between each other. Everything was like fragmented, and no one knew what the hell's really going on. So we said we should kind of create an aggregator for this. So put like 1 inch of the Bitcoin ecosystem and aggregate liquidity across these ecosystems. So all the L2s were coming out. There's over 100 of them now. So we thought we need an option to put them together, make a one-stop shop for people to aggregate across these, and not a problem. But one thing we did see was there was an issue with Bitcoin was it's a very hard platform to use. No one really knows what they're doing on the L2 side yet there. Even though on one side it's very difficult to get your eyes around it. So what we did was we went cross-chain as well, and we bring liquidity in from all the EVM chains, Solana, you name it, it's going to be on the platform shortly. And we actually have our beta up and running on there. People have been testing it. Had over 10,000 users come in there and give us feedback on it. And from this now, we've grown into a bigger ecosystem. And one of our biggest focuses we'd like to focus on is actually having the agent that supports our users in there. So it's pretty simple. I think what we're building is an aggregator. So everyone knows what that is. We connect to the DEXs and also sexes as well. So it's both on-chain and off-chain aggregation. And doing so, users can come in there, complete a swap on there. We do the dirty backend work for you. You know, you want USDT to BTC. We find the source for you, get the best route, the best rates, and we provide that to you. But the biggest benefit we provide as well now is also AI agent. So a lot of people say, you know, AI agents are changing the future, what they're actually doing for you. We've actually provided an agent that actually supports the user, kind of learns what they're trading with. So if someone hops on there, our agent will support you. It's like having a personal assistant. The assistant goes, you know, you like trading meme coins. Here's some meme coins you're looking at. You guys have this method of trading. Well, guess what? We can support you with that. And that's a nutshell of what that agent does. We're also providing an AI hub that supports users because, again, being a DeFi spot, a lot of people come there for DeFi trading. So anywhere from retail users to institutional users, they'll come on there and they'll say, I want to trade my products in here. Is there an agent that can support me? And that's where the agent hub comes along here. They can shop through the agents available, check what works for them, give their feedback on it, and then provide that feedback to the platform. And that's one-stop shop we provide in there. It's an AI hub. Obviously, we have a lot of partners now in the ecosystem. We've grown into that. So on our beta, we had starting with BitLayer with the #1 project on there for 3 months. From that as well, we moved into Core DAO. Again, we're a trending project on there. And now we actually received a grant from Rootstock. We completed our integration with them and we've gone live with them this week. And then following this, we have another 12 chains lined up and we're looking to have these live by March. On top of that, we're going to have our cross-chain function, which we're working with Korra Finance to provide the cross-chain aggregation, and also Chainlink Labs is coming in the future as well. And doing that, we can provide cross-chain swaps for any users on there across all these EVM platforms, across Solana, back to BTC, and this will function seamlessly. So you hop on there as a user, click a button, we do the back end for you across the chains to swap, and in future the sexes are coming along as well. So we connect to them as a liquidity provider and we can source the trades from the centralized exchanges. That's a bit about that really. Yeah, guys, and I said the AI agents are our biggest focus right now as well because, as you know, AI is very trending and people like to actually use these tools to improve themselves. So why would you not want to get ahead with your trades and get ahead with technology these days? and incorporate AI into your trading. So that's Liquido, and I've done it a bit quicker than 5 minutes probably, but it's a bit about us, I suppose.
Yeah, you just have like a minute and a half still, so we can add it to Q&A part. So yeah, thank you for being on time. Guys, now we have Q&A part. Feel free to leave your questions in the chat. Meanwhile, let me remind you real quick that we posted all the contact details in the chat as well. Be sure to check it out. So yeah, enough chit chat, Q&A.
Probably mention as well, we're about halfway through our raise, so our public side is fully allocated to 3 major LaunchPads. We've already got Mexi on board as a centralized exchange as one of them, and we've got about, I think, 30% left for our seed sale and about 40% left in our private round.
By the way, can you walk us through how like your AI agent learns from users' patterns?
Yeah, so say the user hops on there, he's brand new, and he's a horrible trader. You obviously don't want the AI agent to learn his trading patterns because he's never going to have a good time in crypto. He's probably leave the space in a week. So the basic AI agent provides some support and says, guys, these are some trending patterns that are happening right now. These are some trending projects around right now. You should look at this for yourself. It's been pretty popular. These are what the better traders are looking at. Give some feedback like that. So as these people start to learn these patterns and get more involved in the space, they kind of input and train their own model themselves. It's like using ChatGPT. You first say, hey, how do I talk about an apple? It'll tell you, apples are red. But if you give it, I want a big juicy apple, I want to sell this story as a pitch, you've got to kind of tease it a little bit, train it a bit to how you want to talk and work. And that's the same thing with the agent. The more you give it input and feedback on your trading methods or your type of trading style that you like or the coins you're looking for, this thing sources that for you and gives you that feedback itself. So it's more like a personal mate giving you a hand. They give you the support you need.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And by the way, could you tell us a bit more about the team? So who's behind the project?
Yeah. Obviously I'm CEO and founder. I started back in crypto in 2016 myself. So I was doing a lot of ICOs and IDOs back in the day. And then from that, I grew into becoming a coal in the space, became Crypto Playboy, and then started a fund in Australia called Crypto Playboy Capital. We're one of the biggest funds in Australia. And then in 2021, moved out of that space. Obviously, laws have changed in Australia a bit, so we moved on out. Made my way to Dubai and set up over here and became a lot in support of projects in the marketing side and go-to-markets. And in 2023, I got involved in the Bitcoin ecosystem and saw there was a lack in the space for it in common Liquido. My tech side team, they're all in-house, so our CTO and CBDO. I've worked with them personally in the past on a few projects, and these guys have varied throughout the whole EVM space, from building LaunchPads, launching smart contracts, people developing agents, whatever they need, they've done in the past. And we've actually just onboarded an AI team about 4 weeks ago. And they're 2 Aussies as well. They've been in the space for 7 years now as well, just developing AI agencies. One of these guys works for Fortune 500 companies developing the AI software. So we've got them on board now, which is quite lucky for us. We've been trying to get them on there. And we have them now. Also incubated by a 4-leaf network. These guys have been in the space for like the last 7 years now as well. So we're quite lucky to have them on board, and they've been a great asset to us and supporting us along the way.
Well, that's pretty cool. And how do you plan to onboard new users to the platform? So what's your marketing strategy?
Yeah, we've actually got our first beta test was run about 4 months ago, and we onboarded about 10,000 users with 10,000-ish transactions. So there's a bit of an airdrop campaign around that. But we actually have our beta 2.0 coming up. So we took all the feedback from the first one, and we're actually getting bigger and better than ever. So we're going to have about 12 chains for them to test through there this time. The AI agent as well. We've also teamed up with Neo Tokyo, Ton Station, and Superverse to provide us a bit of marketing support. So these guys have obviously a huge audience of over 1.6 million users. And in this, we're going to be incentivizing users to get on there, give us their feedback on the platform, perform a swap through there, and continue to support the project as we go to public sale and towards TGE. And around our TGE, we're onboarding some tier 1 coals that'll be supporting the project as well and giving the feedback on what should be one of the best DI agents and tools for DeFi users out there.
Okay, thanks, Getcha. And we also have a question in the chat. Let me read that one. So how does Liquido's AI-driven optimization system ensure that it adapts to the constantly evolving DeFi landscape, especially as new DEXs and CXs pop up regularly?
Well, so that's the thing for us. So we're developing the smart contracts for each DEX that's out there. So obviously we have to scrutiny them, and then we go through our auditing process. We currently use Hashlock. They've been developing audits for us. So doing so, we kind of take out the dirty work of any issues going wrong with sourcing the transactions from these DEXs. Obviously, you're not going to go pop into any DEX that's just renewed and has like dollar liquidity on there. We like to go for guys that are tested and tried. And when you work with these guys, there's no issues with that. But the AI side of that, basically, it's just input in there to source the best transactions, find the best rates, and provide the user the best experience for it. So it sounds more technical than it is really, but for finding transaction, it's quite a simple process. It's more just in the coding on the back end and how we actually source that for the user.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully that answered. And the question, we got another one. So with the cross-chain liquidity being such a huge selling point, how do you plan to ensure that the system remains secure and scalable as more chains and tokens are added?
Again, so we know which market's kind of the hottest we're looking at. So you're not going to onboard like, Bitcoin just drops tomorrow and it's a meme coin that's out for 2 days. So we're not going to be looking at providing pools for that type of trading options. It's more the larger pairs out there, things that people are trending and looking for. And again, having the AI optimization, we can see what people are actually searching for and looking to trade, and they're the targets we'll be looking for. Again, it's mainly the main chains we're focusing on there. So everyone knows EVM, every EVM chains on there, Ethereum, Avalanche, touching BNB, Solana, these type of chains have got the most liquidity on them, and then providing that into the Bitcoin space as well. We think BTC space is growing, so we're going to kind of connect these chains together so it's that constant liquidity pool flowing between them.
Yeah, thank you, Simo. So guys, do we have more questions?
Yeah, maybe you can explain a bit more about your AI hub.
Yeah, so one thing we found dealing with a lot of these AI agents, because we've been we've been discussing with a few of them and they've been teaching us their methods in that. And what we've learned is there's a lot of them out there that are AI agents. They're not actually capable of doing much. And a lot of people are kind of getting a bit, let's say, screwed over by accessing these agents and saying, hey, there's actually nothing on here. So by providing a marketplace in there, it's like a one-stop shop. If you want to come in there, you can check out these AI agents that are available. There's reviews on there. There's feedback from people. Obviously, they're open source as well, so people can access them and do what they like to them. So if people want to edit it, input them, make it a better agent for themselves, it's all available on there, and it's a one-stop shop. And obviously, we vet them ourselves as well. So we're not going to allow anything just to be put onto the agency there. It'll be team vetted, tested. Obviously, we have AI agents inside our own builders ourselves that can test these and prove these, and we allow people to access it from there. So it's kind of like so we're doing the dirty work for them, getting kind of burnt on accessing dodgy agents, and then providing the best resource for them.
Okay, thank you so much, Simo. Yeah, guys, if you want to connect with Simo after the call, you can find his Telegram and email here in the chat. And yeah, I guess we can proceed with the third project, right, Ivan?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Simo, it was a pleasure having you. Best of luck. Thank you, mate. Okay, and last but not least, we got Matt, co-founder at Korra Finance, explaining the project. So feel free to welcome our last guest here. Hi, Matt.
Fabulous. All right. Well, yes, as you say, last but not least. Well, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. My name is Matt Rich. I am the CEO and co-founder of Korra Finance. We are building an AI-powered self-custody wallet that not only delivers real-time market insights and sentiment analysis, but also enables the user to execute on-chain transactions via text or even voice commands. So all within a seamless mobile experience. So pretty much like the Siri for DeFi, if you will. So to explain this, let's meet Claire and Paul. So Claire is brand new to crypto and is completely overwhelmed by complexity and fears scams and hacks. Paul, on the other hand, has some experience but lacks the time to actively research and manage his portfolio. 76% of users like Claire abandon DeFi due to this poor user experience and really a lack of understanding in these bad actors, right? Claire needs guidance, she needs help with terminology and network navigation support. Paul, on the other hand, needs efficient tools to really optimize his investments without spending hours researching and executing very complex trades. So Korra really simplifies DeFi, but making it as easy and safe as texting a friend. So our AI agent offers personalized assistance from automatically setting up Claire's first self-custody wallet to optimizing Paul's portfolio while he sleeps. Korra executes these trades on-chain through very simple AI voice or text commands. So as an example, if Claire wanted to swap Ethereum for Bitcoin without wanting to use a centralized exchange, she would have to find 3 to 4 websites. She would download 2 wallets, and she would have to work out how to use bridges. So it's just never going to happen. With Korra, it's a single text and a confirmation. And in our initial testing, Korra does this in 3.6 seconds. So Korra is also a mobile access point for the entire DeFi ecosystem. So it aggregates and ranks all the relevant news, sentiment analysis data, and real-time price data to offer the users an optimized and personalized information and analysis feed so that the user can make better decisions. In addition, very much like Liquido, Korra aggregates various investment opportunities across multiple networks, bringing it all to your device. So at a glance, the user can compare the products from multiple providers, such as liquidity, staking, lending, borrowing, and insurance. And in simple terms, they can gain access to all the necessary analysis and insights. And once they're ready, they can allocate to these investments with a single text prompt. Execute. So while many of Korra's features do exist in isolation, there is no real unified solution. So portfolio aggregators like CoinGecko merely collect this information. Users still need to navigate multiple sites to perform a single transaction. Decentralized exchanges are limited to specific networks and are just far too complex for beginners, right? Centralized exchanges are comprehensive, but they're not self-custody and often fail, leaving our users stranded. And none of these options really provide the relevant and personalized assistance that new users require, but Korra does it all. So we've built a passionate community of 30,000 users and growing, with over 6,000 early adopter wallets already whitelisted, and our mobile app version 1 and beta testing receiving some amazing feedback. And with strategies fine-tuned through some leading accelerators and accelerator programs and our partners, we are very much ready to scale. So during Mati's 7 years building eToro and my years at Wick Capital, a diversified crypto fund, we've both spoken to and helped thousands of investors experiencing these exact same pain points and really dedicated our professional careers to alleviating them. Our CTO, Kyle, is an Emmy award-winning developer with years of experience in AI and has the technical abilities and hasn't stopped delivering. Our founders have each built 2 successful companies, and Korra will be our 3rd. So everyone in crypto feels these exact same pain points when navigating DeFi. With 5.6 million existing DeFi users already preferring to access via mobile devices and 168 million crypto users in our targeted geographic regions, these opportunities are immense. Once validated in these crypto markets, we'll obviously turn our sights to taking market share from the 1.2 billion mobile TradFi users as well. Our revenue model is super simple. For the price of a McDonald's meal, users can opt for a monthly subscription model with unlimited benefits and free trading, alternatively a tiered fee structure depending on their token holding. Our existing community alone would unlock an ARR north of 2 million, but we're on course to quadrupling this with partnerships and social networks within 3 months. So we're raising 2.8 million via SAFT to grow our team, to develop the Telegram mini app, as well as execute our go-to-market strategies. And with our lead investors already on board, the timing is perfect to capitalize on this convergence of AI and crypto. So we welcome you on our journey and of making Korra the household name in DeFi. A little bit over there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt. Yeah, very interesting. And yeah, let's proceed with questions. Do we have questions, guys, about Korra? Yeah. Meanwhile, we are waiting for questions from the audience. Maybe you can explain how exactly do you differ from other portfolio managers or another wallets?
Yeah, sure. So most crypto wallets today are obviously passive, right? So they just hold your assets. While Korra is really an active and intelligent wallet. It's really the first wallet that's designed to work for you and not just work for you and not just with you, right? So our AI assistant is embedded inside the wallet and helps users to find these best yield opportunities, automatically protect their assets with smart risk alerts, simplify these cross-chain transactions, which we spoke about. And really, it's a private test environment or a private environment that users can ask the questions that they want to ask without, posting on Telegram groups and being a beacon for scammers. So, really, the wallet it's not just a wallet. It's really a full stack AI-powered investment assistant that really helps the user become a better trader over time.
Okay, thanks. We've got a question here in the chat. How does Korra's AI assistant stay ahead of market trends and continuously optimize portfolios without overwhelming users with too many options or risks?
Perfect. So great question. This really is the focus of what we are building right now. So you've seen multiple AI agents popping up all over the place. A lot of AI agents do a certain thing quite well. And really it depends on what their purpose is and what their data feeds are and what their training is, right? So Korra, you can think of it as almost an aggregator for our various other our other AI agents. We've got multiple AI agents working underneath Korra, and each one of them does various things well. So if you are a user, for instance, and you want, the typical user experience would be wake up in the morning, press a button, hey Korra, how did my portfolio do last night? Okay, your portfolio did 5%, well done, but we've managed to find a few opportunities that may optimize your portfolio. Would you want to dive into them? Yes, cool, all right, there's these various tokens which have been popping up. The sentiment analysis has been great. We look at a technical analysis and it's at a sort of, it's showing buy signals, and there's one or two various options that would work for our specific user, and the user would then just say yes, execute strategy 1 and 2, and Korra would take care of the rest. One thing that separates us or differentiates us a little bit as well is that because we're a mobile application, your personal data is stored on your mobile device. You don't have to go and trust it to multiple websites, and the AI is able to utilize your risk tolerances, the strategies that you want to do for your goals. That she's able to personalize strategies for you that fit in with that. So if you are a mom and you just want a very basic strategy, she's got that in mind, and she'll be able to say, she's not going to give you complicated trading strategies. She's just going to say, well, Bitcoin is at a pretty over, or an underbought, an oversold rate at the moment. It may be worthwhile adding a few tokens here, or the inverse, or here's a product that may fit in with your ethos. Would you like to look at it? So it really is tailor-made for the user.
Okay, great. Thank you. We've got another question. As AI becomes more crucial in Web3, how do you balance automation with user control, ensuring that Korra's AI suggestions align with users' goals and not just market trends?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with Korra being a mobile application, you have those controls, right? So you're able to obviously hold all of those assets inside of your self-custody wallet, or you're able to bring in various other wallets into your portfolio. But you are then able to set those various tolerances, right? So you're able to set her personality, you're able to set her frequency, you're able to set all these various things that may either you're either interested in or you're not, right? So we let the user decide, and that really tailor makes the experience for the user. In terms of complete automation, a lot of users are showing us a real desire for this option within their portfolio. They want to, give Korra $100, $1,000, and just let her go and multiply. And that is in the works. That will be a product that we offer. And again, the way that we would do that is have various sort of risk strategies, various product strategies. So you as a user could say, okay, I want version X, Y, Z, or whatever it is. I want to give you 100, you 100, and you 1,000. And you'd be able to design your portfolio the same way that a portfolio manager would. And that's really where Korra, the AI, the overarching AI, that's her role. To suggest a strategy, to suggest an investment strategy that works for you.
Okay, thanks. And another one, with multi-chain support and a growing ecosystem, how do you plan to manage and ensure smooth user experience across different chains, especially with future integrations like Ton and AVAX?
Yeah, so again, a lot of these integrations are, we rely on existing bridges, we rely on existing users, but the AI, very much like Liquido, is able to look for these various routes and optimize those routes and say, here is a better route, it's cheaper, faster, whatever the case may be, and then suggest that to the user. So what we would like to kind of see, not only, and again, depends on whether the user wants this or not, but you'd be able to set, what does the AI come back to you with? Is it, I want to move money from Bitcoin to AVAX, for example. Would you like how much that transfer is going to cost, the time it's going to take? Would you like information on the routing, or would you just like to say, cool, done? So again, the user is able to set all of those. Our real focus, our target market, is not necessarily the DeFi degen. Our target market is really the no coiner, the moms and dads of this world who are crypto curious but have never really stepped into the space. So initially, our focus is on the major networks, and a lot of these major networks do have products in place, for cross-chain transactions. So it's a relatively simple process to begin with for the majority of our app. I think in multiple years, once our users become more sophisticated, we will need to implement a little bit more sort of peripheral chains, and by that stage, the DeFi market and the DeFi products would have hopefully caught up.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Matt. Yeah. Do we have more questions? Ivan, maybe you have anything to add?
Yeah, absolutely. Am I correct? Are you going to be launching first as a Telegram mini app?
No, first as a full mobile app, which really is one of our major differentiators. Everyone's gone for a desktop application, which fits in perfectly with the DeFi degen, but that's not our market. Our initial target market. Our initial target market is the mom, the dad that's sitting on a train going home and wants to kind of find out about this space, and let Korra be their guide. So that'll come out within the next 2 months. We've got some major announcements coming within the next 1 or 2 weeks of our marketing partners. So there'll be a massive drive for these sort of more in the Web 2 space, and bringing users over to test the application. Free app being launched. It'll take another 2 to 3 months to have the premium version released, and that really is when we can start optimizing users' portfolios and really diving deep into active management, and then finally the Telegram mini app. And we see Telegram mini app as that mass adoption stage where we need to take the 100,000 users to 1 million users and beyond. So that's kind of reserved for the third step.
Oh, thank you for clarifying that. And what does the premium version provide?
So again, if you think about the basis of our kind of user base, right? You're going to have very simple users who just want to have a wallet and they want to buy some Bitcoin, their first Bitcoin via a crypto credit card. They want to be able to so we'll also implement a crypto credit card into the app, so you can go and buy some stuff with that. Getting some sentiment analysis, very sort of low level. Then you're going to find the user that really wants a lot of information. They're data heavy, they're pulling lots of requests, and they want to pull requests from multiple sources and then have that analyzed. And that's where we're talking
or like advanced degens kind of version.
Not degen. So I mean, if you just think of any sort of astute investor, if you've got investment sort of knowledge, you're not just putting basic requests. What is Bitcoin? Like, does it suit me? Yes, cool. Put some in my account. You're going like, give me, if you're a trader, give me 5 tokens with an RSI above 5 and below 15 with an upward trend, with a sentiment analysis score of 5 or beyond, and available on this network. Boom. Like that's a huge request. That's a lot of information, and a lot of analyzing for the various AIs, and it requires a lot of data and bandwidth, right? So that's really a premium request. And then again, in terms of the investment products that we bring in, we want very simple investment products for the simple user. So stablecoin, LP strategies, and major token strategies. But there will be other users who want 3 token strategies, and they want various other little, you can see that there's a huge difference in the users, and that premium sort of usership will be for that premium user.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see the difference now. Thank you, Matt, for clarifying that. That's all time we have for the Q&A. Thank you so much for being on the call. Wish you best of luck with that.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say huge thanks to all our projects we're pitching here. So Liquido, Korra Finance, Tradefire were amazing. Guys, be sure to check out their socials. And also, if you want to be our next guest on our collective calls, be sure to check out our forum for participation. You can fill in and be on our next calls. And also, there's a feedback form for you. So please leave your thoughts in our Google form as well. And yeah, thank you for having us. It was a pleasure having this collective call with you all guys. So yeah, see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Cheers.
Bye.